present to you Mahesh Kulkarni and Raiomond from CDAC in Mumbai and in Pune in India, who have both been involved in various localization and internationalization projects over the years that really have changed the way that computing is being done. And I've had various conversations with them over the years, and another one this morning. If you were there at the Twitter session yesterday evening, it really sounds humongous and big to us. They think it's tiny. So if they say there have been 3.9 million downloads of their software, that to me sounded pretty respectable. They told me that it was just a drop in the ocean. So that gives us, I think, it gave me an idea of the incredible size of India, the incredible amount of people that are there, the variety of languages and the cultures that are present there. And what they have done is they have, as you heard yesterday, they've developed products like office products, but they also have developed spell checkers, thesauri, and all sorts of linguistic tools and technologies to help people to do computing in their own language, which was also something that Patel has raised yesterday and during the meetings. But it's not all about localization. It's not all about pushing things out to other people and to other regions, but it's also very much about enabling people in those regions to create their own digital content and to push their content out to other regions of the world. So they have come here on a huge trip, and I know how huge that is because I went there once or twice myself, and it's a great effort, and we really appreciate that, and we're very grateful to you that you made it here. I would like to welcome you again very much to the University of Limerick, and I and we all, I'm sure, very much look forward to your presentation.
Thank you very much. So I welcome all of you. You are going to see something today which is marked move away from the other presentation, in the sense it will be totally driven on an Indian language. We are focusing on Hindi, and if you see, we have two presentations, one after another. One is on what we have called searching the web in the cloud, but it's also meant for searching within websites. The other is on translation test beds. Why translation test beds? That's something Mr. Kulkarni will explain. We'll be sharing the presentations. I just want to start off with one very important issue. For a majority of you who are accustomed or using what we know as Latin script languages, it's not very difficult to search on the web. Of course, there are issues there also. I see issues, for example, occurring in languages like Finnish, the whole Kartvelian family, like Turkish, Hungarian. And similarly, there are some problems, for example, in French and German also when you are trying to look for material. Now, what happens is, this is what I personally call denial of access. But this is a special denial of access. Those of you who are into computing know what denial of access really means. It is the system just does not allow you to get the information you need. And we call this denial of information access. And the search engine providers, a majority of them, do not bother about this denial. So farmer, for example, in a developing or in a rural community in India would like to check out the price of a given commodity, say potatoes or rice or something. Google or Bing or whatever it is will not allow him to get this information. He will be flooded. There is a oversaturation of information. In what follows, we are trying to present a solution to something what we call localization through plugins. So this is a new form of localization which I see, because the way I see it, the future of localization is something like this. We start with tools and technologies. With that we create content. But once we have created content, where do we go? How do we access this content? And once there is an oversaturation of content, the issues become even more difficult than penury. Small content you can access faster. But once you have a large amount of content, it becomes very difficult. So the first part will be devoted to something known as the plugins for search engines which are providing, and the examples will be strictly from Hindi. It's a move away, I think, from English these few words, I'll request my colleague to take over. Mr. Kulkarni will take over. Thank you. Questions always welcome, please. Shoot.
Good afternoon, everybody. As Raiomond doctor told that we will be actually switching between the presentations. So some part I will try to explain, some part which is expert in the area. He's an expertise in the area of NLP, natural language processing. So we will be more focusing on the NLP stuff rather than the computational part. Okay, both are getting merged today. A little bit of a background of the organization we come from. We both are from Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, Pune, it's in India, near Bombay, 200 kilometers away from Bombay. And my group, which is GIST, that is called Graphics and Intelligence-Based Script Technology. The group name is GIST, GIST, Graphics and Intelligence Script Technology. We started working in Indian languages almost like more than 2 decades. 1988 we started. It's an autonomous society. CDAC is an autonomous society under the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India. It's a scientific society established for the development of a supercomputer, and then on the same lines we started working on the language technology because we felt that this is the need of an hour, and we started initiations from the angle. Before I start presentation, I will try to give a glimpse of the Reynard already mentioned about some of the work what we are doing. But just for your information sake, maybe you will be able to get more details on the website. But still, as a glimpse, I would like to tell you, because the problem which we are trying to address is a phenomenon. Maybe close to 110 crores of people in India speaking different languages. There are official 22 Indian languages, official. English continues to be an associate language, official language for all practical purposes. And then revolving around these, there are so many challenges which we are facing in terms of right from the standardization to what is called a linguistic resource generation, tools generation, and making the tools and technologies available to the masses and in a cost-effective way, so that people can start looking in the languages of their own. And it has been backed up with 2-3 things. One is the industry revolution which has happened. Secondly, there is a government initiative which has been driving some of the activities which I was sharing with Reynard today morning, saying that there is a lot of interaction from the government also. The government has started a lot of funding in terms of some of the projects. As far as my group is concerned, we work into the NLP area, natural language processing. We were the first to come out with something called standards on Indian languages, like starting with how you store the data, how you retrieve the data, or in the sense how you display the data and how you input the data. So I go back something 22 years back and try to say you that we developed something called the ISKI, that is called the Indian Standard Code for Information Interchange, which was the 8-bit standard. Today it has been part of a Unicode, and now it has been standardized. So now today we are already following Unicode, so that's a mandate. And we, in all the government offices as well as in the industry, we are proliferating Unicode. So that's a major shift. Second standard which we brought was the InScript standard, that is how to input Indian languages. Indian languages are very complex in nature. English is one-to-one mapping, as I can say. It's if you input A, then the code of A gets stored into the system and the shape of A is displayed onto the system back to you. So it is a one-to-one mapping. So logics are not very heavy. Computational problems are less. Second also is that the sorting sequence, if you really see of English alphabets, it's more or less like a practical. You don't require a separate algorithm to do a basic sort. Basic. I'm not talking about the advanced sort, but basic sort. But if you come to the Indian languages, then there is still an issue in terms of the what it should be the proper sequence, and then you need a specialized software to handle those stuff. Okay. So you can see this welcome message in all the scripts which have been of India. Some of them are just shown, some of them are not here.